1 week ago today began a spree of crimes connecting 3 Central Florida counties. A father is remembering his daughter killed after being carjacked as another family prepares to lay their family member to rest.
Plus, it has been more than a month since a 3-year-old boy was shot and killed in Lakeland, but one of the suspects remains on the loose.
If you're helping him, you're going to find yourself arrested as well. You're going to find yourself put in jail.
Why the search is spanning all the way here to Orlando.
And former Florida Governor Bob Graham has died. Politicians on both sides of the aisle are finding common ground this morning on the legacy he leaves behind.
Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News Sunrise starts now.
Good morning on this Wednesday, April 17th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Meredith McDonough.
And I'm Jason Guy. We need to get to first warning meteorologist Kellyanne Class. And Kellyanne, we're going to be talking about above average heat today and soon enough the 90s.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be a hot day ahead. But this morning, it's not too bad. Most locations are in the 60s, although our coastline has a huge spread in temperatures, anywhere from the 50s, 60s to the 70s. So let's start off in Flagler County. Marineland, you're at 59. It's 52 degrees in Bimini and Cody's Corner. Favoretta at 57. We're at 65 in Maytown. Osteen at 63. Vieira at 72 or 71 rather. And Patrick Space Force Base at 72 degrees. So for many, it is a comfortable start, but for some, you may need that jacket as you get the kids ready for school. Then this afternoon, we're talking shorts, t-shirts, sunglasses because temperatures warm up into the 80s, but soon we're talking 90s. We'll have more details in a few minutes, but first let's get over to Paola with the check on the roads.
Good morning, Kellyanne. Good morning, everyone. Right now, we've got a live look outside. This is a check on State Road 429. This is near the Florida Turnpike, and you can tell that traffic is flowing nicely on either side of the roadway there. Still pretty early. We're not seeing too many issues or slowdowns if you're about to make your way out now. We also want to show you a live look in downtown Orlando. Good morning to those of you making your way out now. As you can tell, I-4 both ways there looking good. Again, no major issues or delays slowing you down, but we'll have another check on that and a look at some of those drive times straight ahead. Jason?
All right, Paola. This morning, Floridians are mourning the passing of our state's former governor, Bob Graham.
Sheldon Dutez joins us now. And Sheldon, he also served as a U.S. Senator.
And the news of his death, guys, is getting reaction from many people in our state and beyond. Bob Graham's family released a statement saying, "We are deeply saddened to report the passing of a visionary leader, dedicated public servant, and even more importantly, a loving husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather." Bob Graham spent nearly 4 decades in public office. He was elected to both houses of the state legislature here in Florida and then named the 38th governor of our state and served from 1979 to 1987. He then served as a U.S. Senator until his retirement until 2005. Republican Senator Rick Scott posted on social media on X, "Bob Graham was a good man and great Floridian who dedicated his life to our state. His legacy will live forever, not because of any title he held, but for what he did with those opportunities to improve Florida and the lives and families of the Sunshine State." And Florida Democratic Chairwoman Nikki Fried said, "Bob Graham exemplified what it meant to be a servant of the people. He gave everything he had to the people of our great state, and boy, did he love our state with all of his heart and all of his being." Bob Graham was 87 years old.
All right, Sheldon. It's been a week since the beginning of a string of connected crimes that came to an end with 2 deaths. Juan Garcia was killed Wednesday night, and Catherine Aguas Vivas was carjacked the next day. WESH 2's Tony Atkins is live at the Seminole County Sheriff's Office. And Tony, we are hearing from a heartbroken father about his daughter, Catherine.
Jason, he didn't want to go on camera, but he did muster up courage to at least talk to a TV station down in Miami. And as you can imagine, he says that this news simply just rocked his family. Now know that Garcia's funeral is set for this morning, and Catherine's father says he wants anyone who knows anything about his daughter's kidnapping to contact law enforcement. He says today it was his daughter, but tomorrow it can be anyone else's daughter. For now, reporting live in Seminole County, Tony Atkins, WESH 2 News.
Orlando police need your help this morning finding this missing teenager. Janiyah Jackson was reported missing on Monday. It's believed that she ran away instead of getting on the school bus in the afternoon. Now, police say that she may be in the St. Augustine area. She does have a medical condition that requires medication. If you know where Janiyah is, call Orlando police.
are taking off as we speak on an honor flight to our nation's capital to visit war memorials.
WESH 2's Bob Hazen is live at Orlando Sanford International Airport. Bob, you watched dozens of people board that flight just minutes ago.
Yeah, over 140 people on the flight. And in fact, it just took off here from the tarmac, from the runway here at Orlando Sanford International Airport. And they are heading to Baltimore at this point to make that trip to Washington, D.C. and visit those memorials. And this is organized by the Village's Honor Flight. They've done these missions 61 times. The group going today is set to return back here to Orlando Sanford International Airport at 9 o'clock tonight with another reception. So again, a very quick trip and busy trip for them in the nation's capital. Reporting live at Orlando Sanford International Airport, Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
All right, Bob. New on Sunrise, a coach and custodian at West Shore Junior Senior High School got a life-saving citizen award after saving a student's life. The Melbourne Fire Department honored Derek Hamilton. Here's some pictures there for those heroic actions he took. At the beginning of the month, a student ran over to him asking for help, saying his friend was choking. And he says he did the Heimlich maneuver, saving the student's life in about 20 seconds. Great work. Seminole County's Teacher of the Year is getting ready for the ride of a lifetime.
Jeananne Hodges is a teacher at Bear Lake Elementary School. Today, she will get the chance to fly with the Blue Angels. Hodges will take a 45-minute flight in an FA-18 Super Hornet. Now, the air show is happening this weekend. Eric Burr is also going to be flying with the Blue Angels this week. So it's a big one for so many folks here in Central Florida. You got to check out the show.
Yeah, congratulations, Miss Hodges. All right, we turn now to your first warning weather. It is 6:11 on our Wednesday, and right now it's comfortable. It's not going to stay that way for long.
No, going to be feeling like summertime. Meteorologist Kellyanne Clash joining us now, but at least the humidity is not here yet, Kellyanne.
Yeah, and thankfully it's not the summertime humidity, but each and every day it'll tick up a little bit more and more, but certainly not going to be sticky feeling that we have during the summertime. But it's going to be hot for sure. Out the door right now, we're waking up to temperatures in the 50s and 60s, with the exception of Brevard County right now, 72 degrees in Melbourne. And today we're going to warm up into the low and middle 80s from Orlando and east. Orlando and west, it's the upper 80s to near 90 degrees, but soon we're talking 90s for almost every single Central Florida location and record heat. We'll break down all those details for you coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Kellyanne. Police caught an 8-year-old boy behind the wheel driving on a highway in St. Louis.
Where police found his mother and why she's now facing charges.
Plus, more housing is coming to Osceola County. How people can qualify to live more affordably.
You're watching WESH 2.
Another Ivy League school is in the hot seat over free speech centered around the conflict between Israel and Hamas.
Columbia University's president and board co-chairs will be testifying on Capitol Hill today. The hearing's about the university's response to anti-Semitism on campus. Testimony on that topic is why the Harvard and University of Pennsylvania presidents resigned last year. The University of Southern California is also under scrutiny now. It says its pro-Palestinian valedictorian can't speak at graduation due to security concerns.
I stand by human rights, and I continue to. That's not something I'm going to apologize for.
A report from the Anti-Defamation League shows a record level of anti-Semitism across the country, and they say it's skyrocketing after Hamas attacked Israel.
New on Sunrise, out of St. Louis, a mother is facing charges after police say she had her 8-year-old child drive her car while her toddler was also in the vehicle. 28-year-old Latonia Mays Gale was allegedly passed out in the back seat. Documents show the child was instructed to drive because the mother said she couldn't. An officer spotted the car before they were pulled over. Officials say that she was under the influence of alcohol when they found her. She's been charged with child endangerment. Construction is once again being allowed during turtle nesting season in Volusia County.
Officials say it's related to rebuilding after Hurricanes Ian and Nicole. The storms battered the coastline. In Daytona Beach Shores, the mayor said some people are just now ready to rebuild. The problem is that turtle nesting season is just weeks away, and during that time, building is banned on the beach. This year, the county requested an exception, and it was granted.
It is just fantastic that this is going to give them the opportunity that they need to have one more season to get their seawalls up, protect themselves from the next hurricane that may come along.
There are some extra measures in place to protect the turtles. Builders will have to wait every morning for the sea turtle survey to make sure there aren't any nests in their project area that could halt construction. But boy, when we see some of the shots of our coast, we're reminded how lucky we are to live here in Central Florida. That's less than 50 minutes away, I think, from everybody living in Central Florida.
It is so beautiful, that's for sure. And we always do love seeing when, the nests are up, like kind of walk around carefully. But it's such a beautiful day. So if you're headed to the beach today, huh, Kellyanne, if folks are off or still spring breakers could be visiting.
2 thumbs up. That's the forecast for today for our beaches. For our inland spots, it's going to be hot. Our temperatures today are going to top out in the upper 80s. For Orlando, this is going to be 4 degrees above average, but soon we're looking at high temperatures about 10 degrees above average. We'll get to that. Let's at least talk about today's forecast. Coastal locations slightly cooler because of a weak sea breeze developing, plus an east-southeast wind picking up. So they're expected to be at average in the low 80s. It's really though going to be our inland spots that are going to feel that warmth, with those temperatures quickly racing into the middle and upper 80s. Now, out the door this morning, we're comfortable. Most locations in the 60s, just a couple of 50s, including DeLand and Palm Coast, both at 58 degrees. And our warmest spot at the moment is in Melbourne at 72 degrees. So as you get the kids ready for school, just know some jackets may be needed, but everyone this afternoon will feel that heat as our temperatures warm up. We'll also have plenty of sunshine, all thanks to a surface area of high pressure. That's giving us clear conditions this morning, and that'll keep the clear conditions going into the afternoon, along with keeping the rain out of our direction. That's one of the reasons why we're going to be so hot today. So if you are thinking about a beach day, rain not a concern at all. Do keep in mind, though, we have a moderate risk of rip currents, so you want to swim near a lifeguard. But our beaches today will be all across the board in the lower 80s. It's going to be our inland spots that really feel that heat, especially Orlando and West, reaching the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. And in the upper levels of our atmosphere, we have what we call a big ridge of high pressure. And as this ridge strengthens, it's going to not only keep the rain out, but it's also going to heat us up. So tomorrow is actually going to be even warmer, with temperatures returning into the low 90s, and it keeps a lot of cold fronts out of our direction in the next couple of days. So those cold fronts stay north, we stay dry, and we'll get hot. So 90 degrees tomorrow in Orlando. Most inland locations reach the low 90s, coastal locations in the middle 80s. Now Leesburg tomorrow, you're the only location that's set to either tie or break the record high temperature. Your record is 90 degrees from 1990, but we'll get really close to it this weekend, especially in Orlando and Sanford. 93 degrees both Saturday and on Sunday. An isolated rain chance on Sunday, with our next front sliding in Monday, bringing in a few showers and dropping highs on Tuesday into the upper 80s. Okay, it's 6:21. Let's get over to Paola with a check.
Good morning, Kellyanne. Good morning, everyone. Right now, we are looking at some heavy delays. This is on I-4 headed eastbound. This is in Seminole County, so right near 46 and State Road 417. We do have some planned construction, again, on the eastbound side, so you can tell very heavy traffic. Expect some heavier delays if you're heading out there now. We also had an earlier crash in this area near State Road 417 involving a patrol car. So, again, if you're heading out there now, just expect to be stuck in this traffic for a while. Give yourself plenty of extra time. Also, a live look outside in downtown Orlando, where you can tell that on I-4, traffic is flowing nicely on either side of the roadway.
Grammy-winning Colombian superstar Shakira is going on a world tour.
When she'll be shimmying through the Sunshine State.
First warning weather on WESH 2, brought to you by DeLuca Toyota in Ocala.
Taylor Swift has a new album coming out this Friday.
And all week long, she's been dropping song lyrics and Easter eggs to get her fans pumped. One of the promos was a pop-up library in California. Check out the lines as the chopper was up flying there in LA. Yeah, it reached blocks and blocks for people to get to that standalone booth there. Fans who went to the pop-up were able to get merchandise. They were taking pictures and found some clues about the new album, The Tortured Poets Department. Some of those clues included 72 little drawers. That's the amount of months in 6 years. That's how long she dated her most recent ex. Other clues were found on the books. Other pop-ups and Easter eggs are expected today and tomorrow for all the Swifties.
Wow. Grammy-winning Colombian superstar Shakira is bringing her first world tour since 2018 back to the Sunshine State. Her only stop to the Sunshine State is in Miami on November 20th. If you want to see her, that's where you got to go. Now, the tour is built around her 12th album, Women No Longer Cry. Now, tickets will go on sale to the public at 10 a.m. on Monday.
Boeing Starliner has flown to space twice, but never with a crew, and that's about to change.
When a critical test flight is set to launch off our space coast.
Plus, cutting down on response times for fender benders.
How FHP is using technology to help speed up the process. Now on WESH 2 News Sunrise, the father of the woman who was kidnapped during a violent carjacking in Seminole County is speaking out. The message he has for the suspects this morning.
Plus, our series on the dangers of distracted driving continues. The ride-along that shows just how hazardous it can be on the interstate during roadside emergencies.
And the countdown to Paris is on. We officially mark 100 days to go until the Summer Olympics. How the City of Light is preparing to host the world's best athletes on a global stage.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News Sunrise starts now.
It's 6:30 on this Wednesday morning. We're getting you ready for above average heat soon. Right here with the WESH 2 News Sunrise team, I'm Jason Guy.
And I'm Meredith McDonough. Definitely feeling like spring this morning. Waking up to pretty comfortable temperatures. We're in the 50s in some locations, mostly 60s. Meteorologist Kellyanne Clash joining us now. And Kellyanne, we are in, though, for a pretty warm afternoon.
Yeah, certainly going to be hot today, all thanks to sunshine, plus a big ridge of high pressure developing. Out the door right now, though, things are not looking too bad. Plenty of sunshine from our Tower Kim network in Lake County, where the current temperature is 68 degrees in Leesburg. It's 67 degrees in Claremont, a little bit cooler in the metro at 65, and we're at 58 in Palm Coast. So cool for some, comfortable for others. Everyone, though, this afternoon is going to feel the heat as we warm up into the 80s. Then starting tomorrow, 90s. Well, more details coming up in a few minutes. But first, let's get over to Paola with a check on the roads.
Good morning, Kellyanne. Good morning, everyone. Right now, we are following some heavy delays. This is on I-4 eastbound in Seminole County. This is just before 46 and State Road 417. You can see all of those brake lights ahead. So again, plenty of heavy traffic, and expect some delays if you're heading out here now. We do have Chopper heading to the scene to get a better look at this as well. Here is also a look outside. This is a check on I-4 in both directions. You can see traffic starting to pick up, but overall, no major issues or delays there. We'll have another look at your travel times coming up straight ahead. Jason?
All right, Paola, a plea for help today as deputies look for people responsible for kidnapping Catherine Aguas Vivas and setting her truck on fire. Now, her heartbroken father's speaking up for the very first time.
WESH 2's Tony Atkins has been covering this story from the very beginning. And Tony, the father spoke with media in South Florida. The countdown is on to the Paris Games.
Yeah, today we officially mark 100 days to go to the Summer Olympics. NBC's Keir Simmons is live from the host city with an update on all of those preparations.
And Keir, tell us, with just 100 days to go, does Paris seem ready?
Well, bonjour, Meredith. Bonjour, Jason. We don't quite have the sunshine that you guys are going to have today in Orlando, here in Paris. But what a view we have, right? Look at the Eiffel Tower there, behind me, the River Seine, and the preparations really are taking shape now. That opening ceremony on the River Seine, everywhere across the city, the Château de Versailles, they're going to have equestrian events. All of the venues are in places that folks will recognize and love. We're 100 days away from Paris hosting its first games in 100 years, and it really is getting exciting here now.
Oh, yes, it is, Keir. Oh, we thank you so much and can't wait. 100 days away.
I know. Enjoy, Keir, that's for sure. And soon you'll be able to see on the Today Show at the Plaza today, filled with U.S. Olympic hopefuls, including Victor Montalvo, a breakdancer from Kissimmee. Just tune in to the Today Show on WESH 2 at 7 o'clock. And now let's talk about the forecast out there. It's 6:39, and Kellyanne, just as Keir mentioned, we're going to have lots of sunshine. Not quite the case in Paris. They had some clouds there.
Yeah. I mean, today we're talking bright, beautiful sunshine. Truly, what Central Florida does right is the sun and not a lot of cloud cover. And especially during the summertime, we know how hot it can get. Well, you'll forget that you're in April and feel a lot more like it would be the start of the Summer Olympics, because our temperatures are going to warm up into the 70s. Out the door right now, plenty of sunshine from our Tower Cam shot out in Ocala. And many locations this morning are on the cooler side in the 60s. Well, we do have a couple of 50s in Flagler County and even 72 degrees in Melbourne to start. Today it will get hot. Our temperatures reach the 80s, most inland spots in the upper 80s. Not quite record heat, but starting tomorrow we reach the 90s. And Leesburg, you're already set to tie a record high temperature of 90 degrees from 1990, and soon many other Central Florida locations will come close to record heat. We'll have more details coming up in a few minutes.
Ready for launch. Just how soon we could see another rocket blast off from our Space Coast.
And the Starliner spacecraft is marking a major milestone. What this next step means for future ISS flights.
You're watching WESH 2.
The first 7 jurors for former President Donald Trump's hush money trial have now been chosen.
And they include an oncology nurse, a corporate lawyer, and also an English teacher. Before they were seated, jurors went through the questionnaire phase by the district attorney's office and then also Trump's lawyers. Trump was pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records. The charges are tied to an alleged payment to an adult film actor at the end of the 2016 election cycle. Jury selection will continue tomorrow until a panel of 12 New Yorkers and likely 6 alternates will be selected. Now the trial could last 6 to 8 weeks.
So we need good weather this evening. That's also going to help all our outdoor plans. But it's as warm as a summer day, at least for sure by tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I'm just glad the humidity isn't here yet.
Yeah, and that would eventually mean those afternoon showers and thunderstorms, which would then put us into the wet season. But we're not even close to wet season yet. Typically, that's around May, but it can be late as June. So just something to keep in mind. We will eventually have those afternoon showers and thunderstorms, but not today. So we can enjoy the 90s and upper 80s if you like the upper 80s. And low 90s. So for that Falcon 9 rocket launch today at 5:26, because we'll have dry, clear conditions, we are looking at 90% favorable weather conditions, all thanks to 2 areas of high pressure. The closest one to us is going to be a surface area of high pressure right off of our coastline. That's going to give us sunshine all day today, but it's also going to help to heat us up to temperatures into the upper 80s in Orlando, even by lunchtime on the warmer side. Hey, this high pressure is also giving us a beautiful sunrise this morning. This is a look at our Tower Cam network out of New Smyrna Beach. If your plans include the beach today, it's looking really good. We'll have lots of sun. Just don't forget that sunscreen. Now, out the door right now, it's not quite hot, but it's comfortable for many. We're at 65 degrees in Orlando, 68 rather in Leesburg, but we are at 58 degrees in Palm Coast and a very warm 72 in Melbourne. So as you get the kids ready for school, just know that it's comfortable. But when you pick the kids up from school, we'll have lots of sunshine, all thanks to this area of high pressure and warming up as well. The second area of high pressure that we have is a ridge of high pressure. This is in the upper levels of the atmosphere. This will allow us to really get hot in the next couple of days. So today it's a quick race to the upper 80s inland, coastal spots in the low 80s because of an east-southeast wind. That same area of high pressure is going to keep a lot of cold fronts out of our direction. So that means we're going to stay sunny, dry, and hot. Tomorrow, we're in the low 90s. We continue the 90s going into Friday and the weekend. So look at what happens. We're at 90 degrees tomorrow for the second time this year. By Friday, we're at 92. And on Saturday, we're almost 10 degrees above the average high temperature of 84 degrees. So we are talking about heat. And for some, including Sanford, record heat. So we are looking at a very hot weekend. So if you are heading out to the Orlando Air Show at the Orlando Sanford International Airport, you want to stay hydrated, wear that sunscreen, and have a hat because we're hot both Saturday and on Sunday. But good news is no rain to worry about. Next opportunity for rainfall will arrive on Monday as a cold front swings in. This will bring in scattered showers up to a 30% coverage and drop high temperatures on Tuesday in the upper 80s. All right, it is 6:49. Let's get over to Paola with a check on the roads.
Good morning, Kellyanne. Good morning, everyone. Right now, we are following one crash. This is on State Road 528 to the beach line, westbound near State Road 417. The last time that we checked, the right shoulder was blocked in that area, but I'm not seeing too many heavy delays or anything like that if you're traveling out in Orange County now. Also showing you a live look outside. This is a check on I-4 eastbound. This is where we had that congestion just a little bit earlier today. There was some planned construction as well as a patrol car crash earlier this morning, but as you can tell, traffic is starting to flow nicely there on the eastbound side as well as on the westbound side. We're also taking a look at some of those drive times for you if you're heading out on I-4 westbound Lake Mary Boulevard to Lee Road, about 11 minutes. John Young Parkway to Colonial, about a 5-minute drive. But if you're heading out from US 27 to State Road 528, 31 minutes, so some heavier delays there. Stick with us. Your top stories are straight ahead.
We are back now at 6:53.
Our Sunrise team is getting you a final check of this morning's top news, weather, and traffic.
Bob Graham, who represented Florida in the U.S. Senate for 3 terms, has died. Graham also served in the State House and as Florida governor for 2 terms before going to the U.S. Senate in 1987. He led the Senate Intelligence Committee after 9/11 and also opposed the U.S. invasion of Iraq. He was 87 years old.
I'm Tony Atkins in Seminole County, where deputies continue the search for the people responsible for kidnapping a South Florida woman. We spoke with her father for the first time. He says this news hurts his family, and he's hopeful someone will speak up soon.
Orlando police need your help this morning finding this missing teenager. Janiyah Jackson was reported missing Monday. It is believed she ran away instead of getting on a school bus in the afternoon. She has a medical condition that requires medication. If you know where Janiyah is, call Orlando police.
The Volusia County Council voted unanimously last night to eliminate a 3-day wait period and background check needed to buy a gun from private sellers at gun shows. The ordinance does not impact background check requirements imposed on licensed retailers under federal or state statutes.
I'm Bob Hazen at Orlando Sanford International Airport, where dozens of veterans left this morning for a trip to the nation's capital. The Village's Honor Guard organized it. There were vets from World War II, Vietnam, Korea, and the Gulf War. They'll spend the day touring the war monuments in D.C. and come back tonight at 9 o'clock.
We have plenty of sunshine going into the afternoon hours, but it's going to be a hot day. Temperatures today top out into the upper 80s for coastal locations in the low 80s. Tomorrow we're at 90 degrees, plenty of sun, 92 Friday, middle 90s on Saturday. Paola.
Good morning. Right now we are following a crash. This is on State Road 528 westbound. This is near State Road 417. Right now I'm not seeing any major delays or issues out there, but we do have a right shoulder blocked in that area. Also, a look at I-4. This is westbound. As you can see, traffic is flowing a little bit. On this side, westbound, eastbound, it still seems like there's some heavier delays, so just keep that in mind if you're making your way out. This is I-4 near State Road 417. Jason?
All right, Paola. Thanks for spending your morning with our Sunrise team.
And here's what's ahead on WESH 2 at 7 o'clock.
Hey, everybody, it's official. The countdown to the Paris Olympics is on.
And before we all head over there, today is bringing Paris to the plaza.
That's right. Experience all of the magic of the City of Light right here with us.
With only 100 days to go, meet our Team USA hopefuls and returning champions, and they're going to take over our plaza for an Olympic celebration.
And we're going to check in with our good friend Mike Tirico on the ground in Paris.
We can't wait. It's going to be epic.
And it's all happening right here on Today.
Captioning sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell phone.
Wrapping up our 6 a.m. hour, but we still have 3 more hours to go on CW18.
Sheldon Dutez and Christina Watkins are here now with a look at the head. Guys, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we got a lot to get to. We're going to hear from the Boeing whistleblower about why he says one of the company's planes is extremely unsafe.
Plus, someone's trying to scam SunPass customers. We're going to let you know how that scam works and what to watch out for.
Not to mention 100 days away. The countdown is on until the Paris Olympics. This is going to be epic. We are 100 days away from the Olympics, and the nostalgia and the nerves some athletes feel as they get ready for the Summer Games. All that plus more coming up at 7 o'clock on CW18.
Yeah, when you see these athletes so excited just because they feel like, hey, we're just real people, and then they're going to be alongside, names like LeBron James and things.
Yeah. All the superhumans.
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the sunrise, and make sure you join Sheldon and Christina over on CW18.